You're here to tutor Millie?
Yeah, just a bit, and sort of help out where I can. I'm freeloading, really.
Clearly. Well, welcome to our vacation.
Adam, you're here.
Your Manny showed up.
Hey, Jules, this place is extraordinary.
Yeah, I know. Why don't you come over to our house? I'll show you where you're staying.
There's more. So nice to meet you both. See you later.
See you later.
Jack, how is Adam feeling at the end there? Like how he expected, hoped to after killing Jamie, or is it not exactly what he thought it would be?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's the note that we wanted to chime at the end, is the sense that he's executed his plan and he's, exacted the revenge that he's been determined to throughout the whole of this story. But he's left at the end with this slightly empty sense of it not filling the void that he thought it might, and a sense of a kind of hollow victory, and that the revenge hasn't brought him the closure that he thought it might.
I'm so excited by that final shot of Jack playing Adam on the boat at the end. I think it's an amazing bit of acting. It's great. Ooh, it's a good question.
That's a really good question. I think not. I think with all of the characters, there's degrees of there's nuance to the way that he feels about each of them, and I think with someone like Nat, he almost thinks that she's deserving of some of the kind of malicious acts that he's implementing on the family. But then, I think he's conflicted about that. But with Jamie, I feel like it is just pure vengeance, and no redeeming features of him as a person or personality, I think, are able to like overcome what he's done to Adam.
He's sort of envious of Jamie's happy family. That's not a good emotion, obviously, envy. But so he's envious of this happy family that he thought he had, but of course he didn't actually have that. So there's a sort of mythologizing of what his family could have been if it hadn't been through this disaster that he blames entirely on Jamie. So I think there's envy in there. Envy and hatred.
Envy and hatred, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. It was such a special location to be able to go to. It was this small island, and I can't remember the name of it, but it was near where we were staying, and there was an active ruin on it. There was actually a ruin that they're still excavating. But for the most part, it had been excavated, the columns, and they'd been secured and rebuilt somewhat. So it wasn't like we were afraid we were going to ruin everything, but just to be on, there's no inhabitants on the island. It's not inhabited. It's just an old religious site, I think is what it was. It was like a ceremonial place. So it's just really special to be out there, and we just kind of got ferried out there, and we were just there to do that work. So it was kind of an amazing, I think 3 days, maybe 2 or 3 days. No, maybe it's just one day, but we were out there just sitting in the sun on this old place. It was a lot of history.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, I'm really pleased you like that.
Yeah, it was like one of those scenes that the first time I read it, I was daunted by the prospect of having to do it and go to the place that I had to go to in that scene to kind of erupt ultimately. Like, he's someone that's pretty controlled and is able to contain quite a lot of his rage and his hurt and switch off a lot of emotions and bury them. And then there's this great denouement at the end where it sort of all spills out, and you see this side of him that he's maybe been able to kind of contain for a large part of the story. So yeah, it was one of those scenes that, yeah, it was emotionally quite draining to go to that place, and I'm thankful that we didn't have to do 30 takes of it, because it was definitely one of those days filming where you got to the end of the day's filming, and there was a fair amount of decompressing that had to go on when I got into the car and drove home.
Also, I should give credit to my producer friend Imogen and the director Mike Barker for finding that amazing location. That ruined Temple of Apollo is on an uninhabited uninhabited island with just got goats on it. And so we had to build a little harbour and get the crew there. It was a big production number to have this sort of ancient Greek backdrop, which I hope is really effective without being too theatrical. And it was properly elemental there to sort of suit the emotions, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They were in the middle of nowhere on the uninhabited Greek island. It was great.
What would she do? Yeah, well, she wouldn't. I mean, I don't think she would try to take revenge, but I think it probably would have put her on a track or on a. I mean, I wouldn't just sit down and do nothing.
I can see you and Christine ganging up and going out
and the road movie. Yeah, movie.
Yeah.
Trying to get him.
That's actually what Christine just told me she wants to do in season 2.
I'd like to see Jules and Nat become a sort of dynamic duo.
Like Cagney and Lacey.
Exactly.
Right.
And sort of chase him down and, go on some wild goose chase. Because I'm sure he will be on to his next thing, because he's clearly a very troubled person. And I don't think this is just about the revenge on this person. I think this is like a pathology that he has and that he gets. So I think it would be great if you saw Jules and Nat reunited in a Cagney and Lacey. I like that.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, makes total sense. It would be a lot of fun, actually.
Yeah. And I'll come in flashbacks, or I'll just come as a ghost of some kind, and look behind you, Grace.
Oh, I found out right at the start. I mean, I was lucky enough to get all the scripts up front, and it was a joy for me because it's not a character I normally play. I've done a lot of espionage stuff in the last few years, which people know about. So to play someone who's slightly checked out and having fun in life and feeling like no kind of responsibilities was a great thing. So then when he meets his end via a cricket bat, it's quite a moment, absolutely. And it was more thinking, how are we going to do this and how am I going to keep a straight face, because it'll be Jack Whitehall doing it to me. And Jack was really genuinely making me laugh.
Really
in those
grim, wasn't it,
moments.
as well,
Yeah.
that moment,
Yeah.
I have to say.
Yeah, really grim.
Much
Yeah.
worse than I was anticipating.
Yeah, it kind of goes on and on and on, doesn't it? I mean, Damien keeps coming back for more. In fact, that was something that was difficult, not making it seem too hammy as I was crawling across the floor trying to grab his ankle for the 15th time. But no, we had a lot of fun shooting it, we did. And hopefully it's dark. It's not just kind of a fun take on it. It's not just like Weekend at Bernie's. It actually ends up being kind of pretty sinister. And if he'll go there, how much further will he go as well?
Kill the dog.
The dog.
I mean, Raza. It's mean that he kills Raza, but the dog.
No, the dog. The dog. And you have such a cute line in the first episode when you say hello to him and you walk up the stairs and you just say something like, "Oh, Frank the dog."
Oh, Frank the dog.
It's just such a sort of sweet private moment where you feel like he actually loves his dog.
Yeah, Frank the dog. Yeah. To be honest, too, were you there when he smacks the octopus around?
No. I was on that day, but I don't know if I was.
That was hard. I mean, I'm a bit of an animal lover, and
that was harsh.
but not just that, but just the way. I mean, the octopi are kind of hung out to dry in a weird way, and they're such intelligent creatures, and it's just hard to think about the way we handle them. Sorry to bring it all down.
Yeah, but you're totally right.
Yeah.
Okay, when I read this in the script, I was horrified, and I actually can't believe it made it into the show. Killing the dog. Killing the dog.
Me killing the cat before killing the dog straight up.
Yeah.
Like, he gets there first for no reason. To wipe a bit of blood on the shirt. I'm like, why can't he just cut his own finger and wipe it on?
Yeah, I was
just
really
to wring
shocked.
A cat's neck.
I think that's that's a very big statement to make, and you know something's. You know this guy's dark when he.
I think that's what will kind of make the show great and watchable, infinitely watchable. Like, that's a surprise people don't expect
Not
at all. They're not going to see that coming. They might see him do some pretty bad stuff as a character, Adam. But when you're used to being, kind of Jack Whitehall making you laugh as he does in real life, when you're used to someone like that then doing something as bad as hurting the animals or whatever
Or the
else it goes
people.
on the people, then at the end of it, you kind of, there's some shocks in there, which hopefully people will gasp like we did when we read the script.
Well, we were talking about this earlier, and I said the most disturbing response to the series came from one of my agents who, when he'd read all of the scripts, the thing that he just couldn't get over was that I throw away Jamie's passport in the first episode. I was like, I kill a dog and then murder someone. He's like, yeah, but the passport, man, that would be so annoying if you were on vacation. Which is, yeah, maybe says more about my agent than it does the actions of Adam in that series. But I mean, it's quite annoying to lose a passport, to be fair, but I think probably murdering someone is worse on balance.
Admin nightmare.
Yeah.
I think the bit I find really cruel that he does is having befriended Kit, the teenage boy, plants drugs on him, and then when the boy phones up for help, says he's coming and doesn't come. In fact, instead sends the police. That's incredibly malicious and sort of somehow worse than what he does with Jamie in a weird way, because I think because it's a kid.